Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Circle of the World podcast, where we discuss Joe Abercrombie's First Law series. I am one of your hosts, Lord Chamberlain Jeffrey, and here are my co-hosts,
Collector George,
and Harrison Lee, Justice Historical.
We complete our coverage of Sharp Ends, the next entry in Joe's catalog, and for this episode, we finish it off with the review of the book. So, let's get started. Folks, as usual, you know we got to thank you for your support. We really do appreciate you. It's been quite a journey. We have people hitting us up on the Spotify comments and all, continuously asking to join the Discord server, and we appreciate that. We love it. Boys, I need
so if you haven't asked yet, you're missing out. So
Yes.
get on board.
Yeah, we're definitely not like a cult. I say that with confidence.
And you can ask some of our top community members. They'll agree.
If you listen to the podcast still at this point, you're probably already inducted. You just don't know it.
Yeah. We're still just talking to the same 20 or 30 people, which is fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's all good.
So, with our usual proclamations of thanks given to you, the audience, because you deserve it so much, the peasantry. No, I'm kidding. We want to start off with our review of Sharp Ends, and we're breaking it up into 3 sections. And this first section is going to be about the Chev and Javre chapters and our thoughts about that. So, boys, Georgie, why don't you lead us off with what you thought about the whole through line of these chapters with Shevadiah, Bebediah, and Javre.
Severia, it's Severia. Hey, she's from Styria.
Oh, that's right.
Severia.
Can you
No,
imagine?
she's not. She's from the Thousand Isles.
So
God.
she.
Severia?
Shevadia. I'm sorry.
We just read the book.
Severia is from Westport. She was born
No,
in
she lived in Westport.
She lives in Westport, but she's from the Thousand Islands, I think.
I don't remember that, but okay. We'll
roll with it. That's canon now.
Actually, well, you know what? I'm surprised the Adeptus Historical is not chiming in with some factual corrections. But as usual, he's not living up to the namesake.
But yeah, I really like the Chev and Javre stuff. I like the concept of these 2 characters that exist over the whole time span of the First Law up till now, and they've kind of met every character. You know what I mean? They've met every character, they've interacted with them, and we get a little bit extra character stuff from all of these other characters. They themselves are, they're a little bit archetypal. Javre is the big stereotypical warrior woman, mysterious and very blunt, and Chev is very practical and
horny.
Horny. Very horny.
She's super horny.
They're both horny, to be fair.
Actually, you are right. You are right. And we're just getting the horniness on both ends of the sexual orientation spectrum, whatever.
But yeah, no, I really enjoy the Chev and Javre chapters. I know we gave them slightly lower ratings in the early parts, but no, I think it's a good addition to the First Law universe. I'm just sad that we don't see more of the ramifications of some of the story beats.
Yeah.
I would obviously like to see a larger peek into the Bond and the lioness of hopscotch and the what priestess? What was it?
The Knights Templar.
The Knights Templar. That's what it was.
Not the real one. The one.
No, yes, the fictional one here in the First Law universe.
Yeah.
Yes. No crusades on this side of. Whatever.
I don't know. There might have been. You
don't know. Yeah, I do like how sticking to the topic of horniness, how Javre kind of inverts the trope of the man with the harem of women. Now it's the woman with the harem of men and women, because she does not discriminate, which is hilarious. I like the inversion. And I do like how Joe leans into the theatrical with Javre, right?
Yeah.
Kind of how announcing what's gonna happen, like what was that one thing she did? Like, oh, I estimate I shall catch you in 4 strides. Turns out it was 3.
Javra is probably the most over the top and
Yeah.
the most like bombastic character in the first law, and I just have to love her for that. I think it's absolutely fantastic that she's just so unlike every other character. She just doesn't give a fuck about anything. She just wants to get the job done and go fuck. That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But like you said, it's like everything. You know, the worst type of male stereotypical power fantasy character, but put into a different guise and in a way that makes it new and refreshing.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right, George, with that stereotype fantasy, which is why like some people are like, oh, this book doesn't really count. That stuff is not part of the canon. It's too unrealistic. But you're right,
What?
I think too, if it was like if Javra was a man, we'd be like, she's almost as good as Logan Nine Fingers. Oh, so much fun. She's like Weirin and Logan Nine Fingers in one. Like and so I do think it's part of that is like our culture. So I really like the fact that she's in it. She's bombastic. She's fantastic. she is basically one of those people who, like, I think she fits into the story really well without it breaking the complete immersion of it all. Because she does some outlandish things, but it's not like she does anything that a lot of the other really strong characters wouldn't do feats wise. So I really like that. And Shavedia is honestly she's kind of like Shy, but hornier. Like if Shy was born inside, if Shy was like in Westport, she would probably be very similar to Shavedia. And I don't know. I think that they have I think that I laugh so much whenever I'm reading these chapters, and I think that is really nice because there's many points in the series, even though they're pretty funny books. Whenever you read it with the right mindset, this is like true comedy. Like he's actually writing comedy, and it's nice.
It is. They are like a classic comedy duo. You fucking Abbott and Costello or something like that, where they're just constantly playing off each other and getting into wacky hijinks. It's good. It's a lot of fun. And I know some people don't like these chapters very much, and some people think that they detract from the lore in general. I don't agree. I think the first law isn't really meant to be taken that seriously. I say that as we get to episode 181 of our coverage.
We say that. We're qualified to say that. Thank you.
George, just to add to what you're saying, I think they expand on the lore. I think it's it's essential, right? It grows the lore of the first law, and to say that it detracts, I don't know.
Lies spread by the Inquisition.
Slander.
Look, we won't put up with this crippled propaganda.
Sue for libel. But I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, George. Continue. You were thinking about what people say. What?
I think that's really it. I mean, we get them interacting with all the other characters as well. We get right from the beginning. We have Severard, and then you get Vitari, and she meets Logan at some point, and it's just very fun to imagine like all of these characters that we've got to know and love meeting these two completely wild, like oddball characters, and they're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
What is this? It's like they almost exist in a different universe, but
Almost. Yeah, it's great.
And yeah, you're right about like, I mean, we have like the pairing or the off pairing of Kharkov and Chev, right? And we see what we think is the dissolution of that partnership, and then turns out it has been dissolved, but also by the end of the book, like they kind of still keep in touch here and there. Javra returning to her mother to steal something, apparently,
and then coming back again.
yeah, and then the funny thing, I don't want to say the funny thing is like when you just talked about how running into characters that we're familiar with, like Severard and Vitari, and then when you said the apparently the interaction with Logan, obviously that happened off screen, off page, we'll call it, and can only imagine the dynamic between Javra and Logan, right? Because I can see Logan being a chill guy with Chev and be like, yeah, you got to be realistic. But then Javra comes up and they're swinging her big dick, and then Logan's probably got to be like, what the fuck? But I imagine with the Bloody Nine and Javra, how would they get down?
Absolutely. Oh my god. And that reminds me as well. I reckon Javra would have been like Queen of the North if she'd been born in the and if she cared to.
If she cared to. That's a good distinction. If she cared to, because she
Yeah,
really
she doesn't care to do much. Yeah.
Nah, she doesn't really like responsibilities like that. But no, I personally I enjoyed them, especially on a reread. I enjoyed them further. Obviously you get a little bit more familiar with the characters. You connect with them more, and then these nuggets that you might have missed or glossed over or even forgotten the first time. It's nice to get a refresher here. So I really did enjoy the Chef Javra. Let's call it the epoch. What do you boys think about it? What would be your final words? I mean,
I would say, I think we've covered everything with them. Like, they're a lot of fun, and yeah, I don't think they're a bad addition at all. It's not just like best work, but like it's not. He's not writing it to be his greatest work. So that's coming up.
George, don't you smell a little misogyny coming from Harrison's way?
I knew you were going to say that.
Now we're gonna jump right into our community interaction segment, folks, because it ties into this epoch, like I called it. George, or was it Harrison? Which one of you had it in front of you?
I've got it.
Okay, George, lead us into the community interaction segment, please.
Yeah. Segueing from that, we have a comment from Jose, who's I think one of our number one commenters, and just so
Love
you
him.
know, Jose, we have received your message on Reddit now, and we've messaged you back. So
Yeah.
we'll see you soon. But the comment here is, I have a theory about Javra's mother being one of the missing magi who fucked off the Thond. It's absolutely the same MacGuffin, and hoping it's the key for the House of the Maker. So that's a lot to unpack. I love the because obviously we don't know. We only know half of the Magi. We only even really know their names. So that is perfectly plausible that Javra's mother is an immortal fucking wizard and just happened to be running her own organization, which is something that I kind of brought up, that it's good to have a third party in with Baez and Kaldul having their little feud over the whole series.
Well,
To have somebody else in there mixing it up, it's interesting.
Okay, I see what you're saying, because Shank, he kind of he keeps Asteria's business, and Zacharis the same with the Old Empire. But this, like, if Javra's mom is, like you said, one of the Magi, then she's an active player in this little power dynamic here, right? Now,
Yes.
who could she be of the Magi that are still alive?
Well, that's the thing. We only know about. There's one that has like a northern name, and one that has sort of like a Union name. I can't recall them off the top of my head right now.
Well,
That this, please.
well, the
redeem
only
yourself.
the only one that we know that's northern for sure is like Broken Tooth, but Broken Tooth died in the House of the Maker.
Mhm.
And then I'd have to look at it more again because it's been a while. But I think from what I understand, there are 2 Magi unaccounted for out of because there are 12 of them, right?
Oh, there's more than that. I mean, we've got Baez, Kalul, Cornel, Yulway, Zacharis, who are the
I
six.
got-
The
I
six that we
got
meet,
ya.
right? And then we have
Broken Tooth and Selmy died
Oh,
inside
we have
Yulway,
4 more. We've got
Zacharis.
Broken Tooth, Leru, Carnot, and
Leru.
Anselmi.
So
Two
Carnot
of which,
and Leru.
So Anselmi, Carnot says sailed away across the ocean. I'm just looking at the first law
the wiki,
here.
right?
I'm
Yep,
cheating, yeah. And then Leru hidden herself away. So
that's
and
a
then
female.
and then we have to read that are completely unknown. We have no names, no specializations, no.
I was basically right. Two or 3 that are like actually like we don't know who they are, so they could be anybody. So yeah, we have. So it could be the one who's gone mysteriously quiet and away, or it could be one of the unnamed ones. But that is a great, fantastic theory, because we do love our conspiracy theories here. Joe may not like them because he didn't think about them very much, but we love them, and now it's canon.
And I
Death
just
of the
clicked,
author. That's what it is.
and I just clicked the name of Carnal, and Carnal is referred to as a he. So Leru is referred to as she. So she seems likely to be the primary suspect here in this theory, which is really cool.
Mhm.
Obviously, I would love to know who the other three unknown, unanswered magi are.
I mean, we
Um,
have this whole thing with the new empire as well that we don't really know a lot about.
mm,
This could be maybe Bias had a conflict with Jovra's mother at some point, and this is what the whole new empire thing in Styria is about. We know that Bias keeps his cards very close to his chest, so he's not really just advertising about this. There's somebody that can
Yep.
challenge me over there, by the way. He's not going to let something like that slip. So I like the fact that this sort of it opens up the world even more. That there's some things going on that we don't really have any idea about,
Yep.
and
There is.
it's another one of those things that Joe, intentionally or not, has written in that makes the world feel so much more alive.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. And the part of this theory, George, it was that the item is the key to the house of the maker.
Which I think it's fine, but the thing is that we already know that Baez already has it.
Yep.
So
But we know
for it
he
to
has it
be,
at the time of the original trilogy, and the
yeah.
trying to steal it is after that. So maybe,
But the thing is that I'm thinking of as well is that the size of the package, what it says is like more or less a foot long. And we're talking about a key that is what, like,
that's true. No, the
6
key, he
inches.
had it on a chain around his neck.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Now,
it's small enough that he can carry it on his person. It doesn't really need to be in its own container, like say like the seed does.
wait. I'm thinking back to something. So in the Shev and Java chapter, right, where they run into, Java's mother, doesn't she say? Do we know that it's the same package that they need to steal?
No, we don't. We have no idea whether or not those things are connected.
Yeah. We really
Right.
don't know.
We don't know for sure. Okay.
But either of those things, maybe Javra went to steal the house, the key from Baez, or something like that. We don't know. But it is an interesting thing to think about.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. I mean, the thing is too is Bias probably wouldn't. We'd probably know if Bias lost the fucking key to the house. I mean, maybe not because Bias keeps it very close to the chest. But I don't know. But it could be. It could be. We don't know.
And
It
you know
would be
what?
interesting if there was a bit in Age of Andis where somebody says to Baez, like, "Oh, why don't we just open the house of the Maker?" And he's just like, "Well, about that."
I lost them. Now I cannot find them.
Some giant Amazonian warrior stole it from me.
Yeah, and you know what? There's something that's like lend credence to this theory of yours, of Jose's, because going back to that page, she goes, "This thing, Java's mother goes, this thing is not easily taken. It is in the possession of." And Java's mother worked her mouth as though there was a sour taste there.
Mhm.
A wizard, a magus of the old time.
Oh, that's true.
Mm, I'm loving this theory, Jose.
I still reckon that it's some kind of text or something from Glustrod. I don't know why I've landed on that. I think Baez is he's obsessed with finding new magic. We know that he has a Glustrod book from the first few chapters of Blade itself.
Yep.
So maybe those things are related, but I don't know. Or it could be some other artifact of the Maker. We only see the divider and the seed. He probably invented so many different types of weapons and various MacGuffins.
Mm-hmm. And the seed he didn't even invent. He, kind of just procured that, or he took it from Glustrod. Took it from Glustrod, who went
He
digging.
did the old switcheroo.
Switcheroo. Oh, that's hilarious. All right, well, Jose, I think by the time you hear this, just so you know, if you don't respond to our message on Reddit and our invitation to the Discord, let this serve as an official invitation to hop on for a guest spot to discuss your theory in greater detail.
Mm-hmm.
Bring liquor. All right. So, okay. All right. So we'll move on to covering the next set of chapters, and these are going to be the 3 Little People chapters that are in Sharp Ends. Boys, what are your thoughts about these chapters?
I mean, we always have to love the Little People chapters. The Little People chapters are probably one of the greatest things that Joe has ever come up with. Not to say that he invented the concept, but the fact that he's fitted it in so well to the universe, and he's retroactively gone back to some of the events that would have fit very well. I mean, any of these things could have fit very well in the books, in the events where they were happening.
Yep.
So to come up with that and retroactively kind of put that in is a very, very brave thing to do, in my opinion.
I think that they are not his strongest Little People chapters, but they add more context, which is what the Little People chapters do in previous scenes that he didn't start doing that. So I like that a lot. I think he does it really, really well, as always. It's like one of his things that he does. And I think that the strongest one, I think we all have our favorites, but I think the strongest one is the near a village named Barden, because I think it does so well. But I like the stereo one a lot. It feels very, very contextual and just adds a lot of character to the little people, the actual little people. So I think that one is, even though I like the Village of Barden like most overall, I think that one is the best one objectively in terms of writing.
You think so?
I think so too, because I also think that it's different from any of the other Little People chapters as well, because it's spread out more over time. Because obviously we have, the accountant when they go to poison the bank and House of Valent Bulk, and then they have the Lady of the Night in Sapani, and then Brago in the battle in Osbria. So they're actually spread out more than the Little People chapters tend to be. And the fact that that is all spread out, I think that it's probably the one that couldn't be inserted in the way that the other ones can be. But like you say, it adds so much context to the destruction that our protagonists wreak across the whole fucking country. These three poor people that have never done bad in their lives, and they're just getting caught up in this horrible, horrible tide of history that is being caused by our characters.
Oh man, that's a good one. And you know what I do like about the other 2 chapters? The Barden and the Styrian one is circular in nature. Starts off with one character in Barden. It's the farmer. Ends with him. Same thing with the Styrian one. It starts with Kharkov. Ends with her. Right. I enjoy that. Like Joe's all about circular writing. To your point, George, that one with the when I say Styrian, I meant the one with the when they're in where are they? They're stealing from the theft one. What's that one?
You're talking. That's the last one. That's
Tough times all over.
Yeah,
Tough times all over. That's what I'm thinking of. Sorry. But the one
that's an interesting concept as well, because it's we're following the story is about the package. It's not about really about the characters.
Right. I don't really have much to add.
It's an interesting concept.
Yeah, I don't really have much to add. Just that, like, to George's point, those poor NPCs that suffered at the hands of basically the Monza's path of destruction.
I know, right?
Feel for them so badly. Oh Lord. Oh, so we'll move on to our next segment, and this one is the best meme of the week. George boy, that's you. Take it away.
So this is from Boone is Too Spig, which is just a great name. I had to read that 3 times to be like, what the fuck? But that's fantastic. I feel like this is something that has come up before, but we see this a lot with the First Law, and especially with the House of the Meme Maker, where you have things separated by 2 or 3 years sometimes, where people have the same ideas concurrently. So I'm not going to call it a repost, but I'm fairly certain that I've seen a similar meme to this before, and it's the Krieger and Archer from Archer. And it's friendly watching day count. Stop! My penis can only get so erect. Which is it's so true. That is literally all I can think about. He's just like, oh my god, this is so good. I love it. She's dancing. That's like my favorite thing in the world.
Krieger
Krieger. Oh yes.
phrasing.
That reminds me, I need to go back and watch Archer again. That's
Yeah,
such
it's
a fun
such a
show.
good show. Such a good show.
So yeah, thank you for that. Boone is too big.
Boone is too
Yes.
big. if you're dyslexic, that's a fucked
Yeah,
up name.
it took me a little while I said it a couple of times before we got on, just to make sure I could say it without fucking up.
Well, thank you for that. We appreciate it. Obviously, we love great works of art here on the Circle of the World podcast. And we will move on to our final review of the next section of chapters. And these are the four main character chapters, the four big ones, right? These are A Beautiful Bastard, Some Desperado, Hell, and obviously Made a Monster. Did I miss anything else? Did I miss anything?
That's
No,
it.
right? So, obviously, good chapters all around. What?
And then you're obviously.
So, I'm trying to get my thoughts together. Sorry. So obviously, we think that all four chapters are great chapters, well written. I know some people might rank Some Desperado a little lower than the other three. Would you say?
I think.
Yeah, I mean, definitely.
Yeah, I'd say Some Desperado is probably the weakest in terms of excitement and how much we learn about Shy, because obviously we already know most of this about Shy, and something has happened in her past and we already know all of the kind of important beats. But I think it's a very tightly written character, like just a little character view towards her mentality. And it does help if you read this and then go back and read Red Country.
Yeah.
We're like, okay, I understand more where she's coming from. Not that
Mhm.
Shy is an unlikable character or
Yeah.
mystifying in any way, but I do enjoy it. I like the three idiots that come and chase her. They're all just like stereotypical. One of them's stereotypical evil. One of them's just a follower, and then one of them's an idiot.
Which one's the one that she was banging? The follower or the idiot?
The idiot.
The idiot.
Yes, she was. She was banging the idiot.
George, you said that with a little bit too much authority. The idiot.
It's so relatable.
It is, unfortunately. Oh God. Oh God.
We meant for us.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Am I the idiot?
Yeah, we're all the idiots. Oh man. And then obviously there's A Beautiful Bastard and Hell, which
I mean, Hell is a really strong chapter.
oh, it
because
is incredibly strong.
I think Temple is already such an interesting character and already such a tragic character, and we get descriptions about what happened in his life that it is so bad and terrible. But to actually see it and to see Cardia again, see Mamoon, and those...
Mamoon!
I'm Snake.
What do you guys think about Hell?
Oh, I love it. It's a great chapter. Basically, what you were saying, especially that like when we get to see Kadia again, and this time we actually see his fate up close. Not his true fate, but basically we know what his fate is at this point. It's like because the last time we saw Kadia was before the hang. Shakes locked his hand, and that's it. Just go separate ways, and then you just hear that the Goska has fallen to the Gurkish. This is us, up close and personal, and obviously through the eyes of Temple, who's in Red Country, he's a complicated bastard, right? Because he's treacherous at times, but he has a good heart, but he doesn't allow it to kind of like he allows his cowardly nature to take precedence here instead of like the courageous aspects of himself. So
I think that Hell is like, I don't know. I feel like Hell is a chapter that it's one of the few it's kind of like Made a Monster, and I don't know if it Beautiful Bastard. Yeah, I would say it is like those, but in a different way. Like it almost feels like this chapter should have been a part of Before They Hanged. Like just to not because Temple's in here or something, but because like for more of the other characters, for like the scene with the eaters with Kadia, and even what is it? Is it General Veers or is it
Bisbrook.
General Visbrook? Visbrook. Veers is the guy from Star Wars, by the way.
Yeah.
And I feel like it just adds so much to like the siege feeling, because we didn't get a lot of that. Glock just all the way up into the palace the whole time, and like you kind of get a vibe, but I don't know. I feel like this is like an actual missing chapter almost, whereas the other one's still like, oh, here's some extra context. This one doesn't feel like context. It just adds more to everything we've already familiar with. So I don't know. I really like it for that, because I just really think it deepens the world and the side characters, as Temple's a part of it, and gives some context to him. But he's basically the same, and that's kind of the point. But
I mean, it
yeah,
would
I think
add
it's really, really well done.
absolutely, and I think it would add so much more weight to Temple's character as well if we saw him all the way back in before they're hanged, maybe for just a chapter or 2 or 3, him living his life, and then this happens, and then we see him again in Red Country. Like that would add so much more weight to his character. And again, I like the fact that Joe comes out and says, well, he doesn't say it, but he comes out and releases these chapters and goes, whatever you will, you can imagine this wherever it was, or if you're nerdy like us anyway.
Yes.
Yeah. He doesn't really do flashbacks in the books, right? Like in the trilogy.
Not once, I don't think.
Not once, no. So,
Flashbacks are a lazy writing device, so I'm glad that he doesn't.
Yeah.
Unless Joe does them, then I'm down.
Yeah, if he does one in the next book, then it's fine. Oh, he does it in the Devils, doesn't he? Oh, fuck.
Oh, he does? Oh, I have to read that. And then what about A Beautiful Bastard from the perspective of Salem Ruse? I love him. I hate him. I love him. I want to be him.
It really does show. Like, we get the descriptions of Glockner being the way he is, and we get him like understanding his own personality post mutilation. But to see it from somebody else's perspective, from that exact point where it's like, this guy is an absolute piece of shit, but also he's probably my best bet to being like anything in life.
Yeah.
His approval means more than anything else in the world. Like the amount of power that Glockner has just by being charismatic and awful. And then to lose that.
Yeah, and then you think about it, he's like whatever you think Giselle's like in the original trilogy, especially in the Blade itself, he's nothing compared to this iteration of Glockner.
No. Giselle stops bankrupting his friends. He doesn't beat them.
Oh man, Harrison, what do you think about A Beautiful Bastard?
I think George's right. I think it adds so much to Glockner, and like it's kind of like with Logan. Logan and Glockner are like his peak characters. Like those are his people who like you can take them, and I've said it before. You can take them and you can throw them into basically any universe, and they're gonna work because they feel like a person. And I think that adding these backgrounds to these characters, these beloved characters, is actually really important because, Glockner and Logan are not good people. They are people. They have good aspects and bad aspects. And I think that it adds so much to their characters that like it's totally worth it. Glockner feels so I don't know, like he somehow still feels like Glockner while being it's weird that he's exactly what he said he was. And that's like off-putting, because we're used to seeing these characters, especially in the First Law, who are all fascinated by how they used to be or what they're going to be, and it's not accurate to actually who they were. But Glockner was a self-aware even back then, and that's just it's such an interesting dynamic to have, that he was that way, was aware of it, changed, and became better in some ways and worse in other ways. He's so interesting and dynamic, like Logan. It's crazy.
Yeah. Another dynamic that I think is interesting. We probably touched on it when we read A Beautiful Bastard, but like the Salem Ruse to Glockner dynamic. So that way, like now we're seeing it through his perspective, what he thought of Glockner at the time, that complicated like desire to be him, love him, hate him, and then the first time we see Glockner in the entire series, he basically is interrogating Salem Rose, and Salem Rose is like, "It's me. Don't you remember?"
It's me. It's your Sam.
You'll save
You Sam.
You're Ruse.
You're rude.
You're Ruse Booze. Sorry. Oh. Yeah, so and then obviously with Made a Monster. I mean, we just covered that last week, so I mean, I don't know.
With both of the chapters, it's very interesting because they're both
When you say both,
both Made the Monster and Beautiful Bastard for Glockter
Okay.
and Logan. They're one of these points where it's like, obviously with Glockter it's literal because at the end of that chapter he goes down and gets captured by the Gurkish,
Right.
and with Made a Monster we have finally seen Bethorn come to this conclusion that Logan is no good. But it's like, if the events of those chapters are worked out in just a slightly different way, the whole story changes.
Yep.
So
that's a fair point.
if Glockter never goes down to that bridge and sends somebody else instead, then we don't have any of the story.
Mm.
And same thing with Logan. Yeah.
And same thing with Logan. If, say, Bethor decides to have Logan killed right there, well, then who's going to talk to the spirits? Whose buyer's going to go and they're going to go on that quest and do whatever. I know it doesn't come to anything in the end, but the whole story changes. Like, these are two very, very important moments in the lore. And just to see them acted out instead of being told about them in post is it's wonderful. It's good.
It is. It is.
I totally agree.
Enjoyable book throughout, and all in all, with all these different chapters, the different perspectives, these characters that we see across multiple books, and some quick, like maybe we get a bit of a deep dive. Others like Logan, Glockta, even Temple, we get kind of like a sneak peek into their past, across these events that have shaped them, or at least shaped their reputation. Like in Logan's case, the reputation of Logan was pretty much cemented when he basically treated Rattleneck's son as what is it, Christmas lentils or whatever.
Tinsel, yeah.
Tinsel. So yeah, some amazing stuff here. Really amazing stuff. I really enjoyed the book. We took it for what it was, right? Which is a collection of short stories, right? So there isn't like really a consistent through line of thematic elements, I would say. But I mean, they're there. They are there.
Yeah.
It's just that you couldn't read Sharp Ends on its own and go. It wouldn't mean anywhere near as much as if you'd read the rest of the books.
Absolutely.
You really, this is an addendum almost. Joe's just gone, all right, okay, also, for anybody who thought that Logan was a hero, here you go.
Just in case you still weren't sure after Red Gun 3, here you go.
Yeah.
He's a right bastard.
He's a piece of shit, yep.
Yep.
We can't rag on it enough. Yeah, we hate Logan. He's a cunt. He even says it himself.
we love to hate him.
That's true. It's true.
He is one beautiful bastard, isn't he?
That's our show, everyone. We want to thank you all for listening and supporting this podcast. As you know, this is a passion project for the three of us, and your support means oh so much.
Join us next week as we have a special guest on for a special episode.
And make sure you follow us on all of our social media or shoot us an email at circleoftheworldpodcast@gmail.com.
And if you haven't already, please subscribe to our podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you get your podcasts from. And please make sure to rate and review us. Thank you all again for listening.
Damn good show.